Robert Rozier had made statements. He had lied then, but that when he was testifying, he was telling the truth.
Robert Lying Bob Rozier was discredited as a witness because he was caught in lie after lie after lie. In legal terms, this means he was impeached.
Robert Rozier was impeached, was sliced, was diced, was destroyed.
You know, at one point in the case, I tried to put on evidence from a psychologist who'd done a psychological profile on Rozier based on standard and well-respected research on the elements of a psychopathic personality. And he had reviewed Rozier's grand jury testimony, his testimony in a civil RICO trial several years ago, and all of his trial testimony, including the cross-examination and the direct examination. And I think Bobby scored like 26 out of a possible 27 as a psychopath, pure psychopath, right up there with Ted Bundy and Charles Manson. I mean, this guy is the consummate liar. He lies so much he doesn't even know what's true.
So Rozier is a liar?
Was Judas a liar with Jesus? He was falsely accused then, the same as I'm being falsely accused today. It's religious persecution, and I suspect deep racism.
Ralph DeLoche, a fellow who played for the Dallas Cowboys, for the New York Jets. Ralph DeLoche, a probation officer, sworn to tell the truth every day of his life with juveniles. What did Ralph DeLoche tell you? From Sacramento, California, he traveled here to tell you something real important. He knew Robert Rozier 8 years before he ever met Yahweh Ben Yahweh. 8 years! And what was Robert Rozier saying 8 years before he met Yahweh Ben Yahweh? I can get away with anything I want. I won't be noticed. I won't be detected. It's just what he's trying to say Yahweh Ben Yahweh taught him. It's not true. It's not true. Yahweh Ben Yahweh didn't tell Robert Rozier this stuff. This was part of Robert Rozier before he ever heard of Yahweh Ben Yahweh, before he ever met Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Ralph DeLoche, he knew one thing. He knew Robert Rozier. What did he tell you about Robert Rozier? He had a nickname, Lying Bob. Lying Bob, that was his nickname through college. Because he was so manipulative, so deceitful, he had such a lack of discipline, he was uncoachable. Ralph DeLoche said all these things. Robert Rozier is not capable of following orders. He is incapable of following any rules. Robert Rozier wanted to use Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and he did. The tape shows you Yahweh Ben Yahweh. You don't have to like him. It's not to show you to like him, to dislike him. It's to show you him. This is Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Just like my son, faded like something so long I've done. Hold on to me, in your name, hold on to me, in your name.
I'm only looking for you who want to be moral. I prefer every single one of you that don't want to be moral to leave. Neriah is steady breaking the rules around here. So his mind is not divine. He certainly isn't moving in a moral fashion. You want to build a kingdom separate from mine? Is that your aim? Well, see, you better get to be moral. See, you better start practicing moral behavior. Because I'm not going to keep you here breaking the rules, not conforming, at the wrong state of mind, don't want to be upright, don't want to be right, don't want to be straightforward and honest and good, and all these words we have down here. You spend your time studying those, you'll be all right if you accept it.
Robert Rozier pointed his finger at an innocent man to escape his date with death in the electric chair.
Being conscious of the federal government's desire to bring Yahweh ben Yahweh down, Robert Lying Bob Rozier took advantage of an opportunity to avoid death and to get out of jail by agreeing to testify against an innocent man, Yahweh ben Yahweh. The federal jury was confused. They deliberated for 5.5 days and sent out at least 4 notes saying they were unable to decide or agree upon a decision because they were confused about how to apply RICO to the facts of the case. They convicted as a result of that confusion and out of ignorance. And when the same case was heard on the state level, without the confusion of RICO, the jury returned an immediate and unanimous verdict of not guilty as to all allegations, as to all defendants, especially Yahweh ben Yahweh.
The federal case, which grouped so many people together, charged, had an underlying current of allegations that had really no bearing as to whether these defendants killed anyone.
We sought to take Janet Reno's deposition, and the judge said, well, we don't want to bother her, but we weren't permitted to take the depo of one of the highest-ranking people in the office. And he stated under oath, he said, the reason that we went there was because the case was weak, and we knew that if we threw them all together and called it racketeering, that there was a better chance of it sticking.
J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation from 1924 to 1972, issued a memo dated March 4, 1968, which admitted to the Bureau's secret agreement with the media to discredit targeted groups. The memo points to the government as the source of a slanderous media attack, even through black reporters. It states, in every instance, careful attention must be given to the proposal to ensure the targeted group is disrupted or discredited through the publicity and not merely publicized. The stated purpose of the slanderous campaign, quote, is to prevent sincere black leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them in 1. The responsible Negro community, 2. The white community, 3. And with the followers of the movement.